Hi stars, so this video is actually highly requested on my last live, which I think is like super cool. What you're gonna need to make this even candy cuff is some scissors, obviously some beads, which can be an odd number of beads like color wise, and then some string. We're gonna take off about an arm's length of string. It doesn't have to be exact. There's my cat. She really likes to be involved. A little bit too much. Get out of my way. We're going to hold our string just like this, with two ends pointing this way. And then whatever color you want to be the bottom color, we're going to put that on first. Technically, it doesn't really matter if we're doing even numbers, but this is a good habit to get in whenever you start doing odds. For me, since I'm doing an odd number colors, I'm going to be doing 2 of each color. But you can do whichever colors you like. Just make sure to go in this 2-1-2-1 pattern. So you want it to end up lining up just like this. It doesn't really matter right now. It just matters mostly whenever we get to your last color. Now, if you've done this correctly, you should end up getting this last one to be just 1, not 2. If you end up with 2, that is an odd number, and that is totally different from an even cuff. And then once you get this done, you're just going to pull these all the way to the end. And you want it to be a little bit tight, but not too tight. Now, once you get here, you're able to take one side of the string, feed it to your cat, and then take the other side of the string. And this is going to be the string that we actually use. We'll come back to the other side later, but as for right now, that's just going to be distracting our cat. Whenever you undo your hold, it's going to come apart a little bit. That's totally normal. Don't worry about it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one bead, put it on your string, just like that. Now take the end of the string and put it through this bead right here, the one that's poking out a little bit. Now pull it through, tighten it up a little bit. It's going to look a little bit wonky. It will look normal after you get doing it for a little bit. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Just feed it through the bead that's poking out. Pull it through. Tighten it up a little bit. And now we're starting to see a little bit more of a shape. We're just going to take one more. Pull it through. And feed it through. Now after you reach the end here, you should have a cohesive shape. If you don't, it probably just means that your string isn't pulled tight enough. That's not going to affect a whole lot other than how it feels on your wrist. Now just keep doing this for a while. I'll do it one more time just for demonstration. I'm going to take the bead, put it on the string, feed it through the bead that's poking out, not the one that's in, and then pull it through. The exact same thing here. If I can get it through. Now, these are a little bit crooked. That's fine. It'll end up straightening out after a little bit. Like I said, this is going to look a little bit wonky until you get the shape of it a little bit more correct. Now for this one, you're going to do the exact same thing. Just take it, put it on, feed it through, and pull it tight. But not too tight. So this is how I like to do it. I like to have it about this much. That way it's tight enough to keep the shape and not too tight that it's going to like suffocate your wrist. I will come back after I get to the end of this string and I will meet you guys at the end of that. Now when you have enough string to go back through, plus a little bit extra, that's when you want to stop on this side. Now you can either flip it over and take the rest of your string, or you can just continue working from this way. I prefer to flip it over, but it's up to personal preference. Now we're going to take this side of the string and do the exact same thing that we've been doing. And whenever you get about this much string left, that's when I will come back. Now, unfortunately, I have underestimated how much string I'm actually going to need for this project, as you can tell. So I'm going to have to scrap the entire thing. I'm just kidding. Do not scrap the entire thing. You're going to take a little bit more string. And this is how I like to tie it on. You can definitely do it like this. But in my experience, it ends up looking really clumpy and half of the time falls apart. So what you're going to want to do is take them, line them up just as we did in the beginning whenever we were stringing on our beads, and then hold them together, wrap it across your finger just like that, and then take this one and pull it underneath. Now pull it together and you should have a pretty sturdy knot whenever you pull it apart. Now the only thing that you're going to have to do after is just cut off a little bit of excess. So in the end, it should look something like this. So whenever you're ready, you're going to be able to take this, test it out, make sure it fits comfortably across your wrist. This one's a little bit big for me, but that is okay. I'm going to sell it anyway. If you tie it off wrong, it could end up looking something like this. So it's very important to tie it off correctly so it looks smooth all the way around. The biggest and most important step to do that is to look at the very end and make sure one side is facing in and the other side is facing out. If they are both facing out, that is not going to end up looking good. You're going to end up getting that little circle space. So make sure it's shaped just like that. And then take your string from the first side, bend it over just like this. And take that string and put it in across the other one into this out-shaped bead. You're going to want to do that back and forth all the way across, only going into the ones that are facing out. Do not go into the ones that are facing in. The ones facing out are kind of your guidelines. Now just keep doing that all the way across. Just like that. And now check to make sure the tightness is not tight or more loose than the rest of the cuff. Now you're going to take these ones, go around, tie a regular knot just like that, and do that a minimum of 3 times. A good rule of thumb is to make sure that whenever you tie it off, you're not getting any leeway. You're not adjusting, you're not doing anything. So whenever you pull it, if you're getting any adjustments on it, if it's pulling it tighter, making it looser, you need to make another knot. Now I'm going to do this, I think that was 4 times. Check to make sure it's tight, and then we're going to be able to trim off this excess. Now if you want, you can take this little bumpy part and stick it into a bead, so across the top it looks perfectly symmetrical. Across the bottom it looks symmetrical. Give it a stretch test to make sure it is stretchy. That is only going to work if you're using fabric covered elastic, however. If you're using regular plastic string, doing a stretch test could stretch it out, and that would not be ideal. So just make sure that you're taking care of what you've made. Yours might look a little bit different than mine, but that is totally okay. I've been doing this for a little over a year at this point, and this is probably your first one that you've ever made. So thank you guys so much for coming with me, watching this tutorial. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions, or you think that this is the worst tutorial you've ever seen and that you wish I would delete my YouTube channel, just let me know. I probably won't listen to you if you're recommending that, but I always respond to every single comment unless you're a bot. So just let me know. Bye, stars. Smash that subscribe button. Smash that like button. Comment your favorite food, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.